person that is here, you have been hearing this young man speaking to us in a very passionate and being able to understand what the system is. Are you able to give him the support we've been asking for?
Yes, sir.
Because a change can only start from a day, and a change can only start from a person. Nigeria has always been a place where we have divided ourselves through ethnic lines, but we align to ourselves. A country so strong, mightily built, heavily invested by God with resources. It's languishing under authorities of ill, I'll call them criminals, because we have elected criminals into the government of Nigeria, and we have been battling with it over years, and they have taken position in Nigerian government. We need to understand this. It will take a lot to dislodge them. It will take your courage and my courage to dislodge these people. Okay, let me ask my questions. My question dealt so much on corruption. I may not have to read it. I'll say it from my heart, it's born from my mind. Every day they post something about corruption in Nigeria, I pull it from the online, I save it on my file. If you want it, I can bring it to you. So, listen to me. If you are elected tomorrow, come May 29th, how will you solve corruption problem? Because corruption has become endemic with us. The children in the school, their language is corruption. The pastors in the church, their language is corruption. It's a culture. It's not just about the people. It's a culture we have embraced. So how do you change this culture from becoming what it is today to change into something like that? Means it requires a lot of reactive action.
Professor James Woya Tichie and Mrs. Grace former Tichie Nena Nam Kenekwa Munu. Eletioku Odelo Raba Nono.
There's this trend going on online now that we've all paid our dues and we deserve some accolades. We've paid our dues and we deserve some accolades. However, I think this is the time to actually pay our dues to make sure this guy becomes the next president. And I noticed that it's known that disruptive ideas is in trend right now. Sarah is one of the disruptive ideas in the media space. How will you make Nigeria, all Nigerians, to be the destructive country in the whole of Africa, technological-wise? And also, are you engaging with core professionals in medical space, in IT space? Are you engaging them to ensure that what happened in India, we can all testify to the fact that anywhere in most countries in North America, IT space are ruled by the Indians. And I know because I also am an IT security professional. I see that they are not better than us in IT. Testimony to that. What will you do?
I urge you not to relent. When I'm not here, I'm usually online, transparently revealing my location and also talking to Nigerians virtually. Stanley, thank you for your question. I want to make some clarification. I've always been against PDP and done everything I could to ensure that PDP was removed because at the point the PDP became a virus within the Nigerian body politic, and there's nobody that is not aware that I'm against PDP and their brand of politics. As a result, I have fought against people like what's the old man that died in Ibadan, Adedibu, fought against Fayose, fought against Alawa Akala. You can count all of them, we've been after all of them. The part that you labored very hard to make is my connection with Tinubu, and I think today is a good point to clarify. And I say that I don't have any connection with Tinubu. I was shot into limelight at the same time that Tinubu was shot into limelight. Tinubu was a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 1992 after Babangida packaged that his transition program. I was the president of the University of Lagos Student Union. When they annulled the election, was the time we came in. If you're a student during our own time in the 90s, we actually did not believe in Babangida's transition program. And we said it because we knew that it would not go anywhere. Babangida was named Maradona because people knew that he was a liar and a deceiver. And we fought against it. But the moment they shot themselves in the foot by allowing Abiola to be elected, we stood up and rose and fought it. Let me shock you with another thing. When Mandela came to the University of Lagos, in I think around 92 as well, or thereabout, and Abiola accompanied him to the University of Lagos campus. You know how the campuses are volatile. We drove him out. He ran away without taking his hat with him. The students collected the hat because we had linked him with corruption over time. But when this issue came up, I will say to you that when we will go to meetings, if there's a sitting arrangement for activists, Tinubu is behind me. You know, I don't believe in religion, otherwise I would have said that. I've said this before, man and God. We were so powerful in our days, even though we were young people, that we were recognized for our bravery, not our age. Tinubu is definitely older than me, but Tinubu has never been more prominent than I am. In the 90s, if you go online, you see a video circulating. I was standing behind MK Abiola in 1993.
That day I was outside that.
Exactly. So, you can imagine, we were there to tell him to discard the politicians who were a burden to him. Because of that, when we went inside, we saw all of them collecting money. And we told Abiola, these people will betray you. So, when Tinubu them left to come and form Nadeco abroad, we stayed in Nigeria. I didn't leave Nigeria until 1999. We didn't go anywhere until the military fell. So when you're talking about if I was in the army, I would be a general and Tinubu would be a colonel. I'm older, but in terms of ability to fight for what I believe, I'm better than him in that regard. But what happened is that in 1999, the moment they saw the opening, they came back from abroad. They didn't even ask to see Abiola before they met with the military leader at that time, Salam. And Abiola was killed the next day. But here is the truth. The pro-democracy movement, good people like you and I did not take the opportunity in 1999 when it came to us. We still ignored it and allowed riffraffs to take over the democratic space. And when the likes of Gani now came in 2003, they had already consolidated their hold on power. And Gani was barely able to get 50,000 votes, even though the man came before his time. Nigerians were asking, as they say in the Bible, that they want to vote for Barabbas, which was Obasanjo. When they had the Jesus Christ Gani, they said, give us Barabbas. And that is the country that we have now. But to address the Tinubu thing, I've only met Tinubu once in my life. And that was in 1999 before I left. I was in company of one Dr. Fashion, who was OPC leader. And Tinubu was passing by with Obani Koro, this same Obani Koro. They were canvassing for votes. And they said, this is Tinubu. Tinubu was wearing sandals. Yes, his leg with ashes, he was been roaming around. And at that time, he didn't even have money. I left Nigeria in 1999 because I knew the transition program would not deliver anything to. And of course, I had become sick, at that point. So I did not go back to Nigeria until 2004. So all the time that Tinubu was governor for 4 years, I wasn't in Nigeria. So I couldn't have met him. And in 2000, I think around when I started Sahara Reporters, one of the cases and report I did, which you can Google and find out, was to go and dig out Tinubu's drug history in Chicago. Yes, how they were carrying drugs and selling drugs. It's on Sahara Reporters, you can find the documentation there, so that the people of Lagos will not vote for him. But they ignored it. Gani found out that Tinubu didn't have certificate. They ignored him. The Toronto Was it Toronto? No, Toronto was the speaker, but there's a Chicago certificate scandal. So when people, and then Jonathan and his people started cooking up this story that I'm working for Tinubu simply because they couldn't bribe me. Between Tinubu and Jonathan, who bribes more? Tinubu does, Jonathan does, but Jonathan had a federal purse. But this is why I will shock you, Stanley. When Jonathan was denied his mandate to become president, when the Yar'Adua people were playing games, he fell upon me and others working as our reporters to fight every day to let Jonathan become president. You can verify that. And when it was over, he sent Oronto Douglas to me that whatever I wanted, I should ask him, that they should ask me to pack my things and come to Nigeria. I told him, I said, I don't have the tolerance or temperament to work in government because I will say my mind and you drive me out the next day. If you can do us a favor, govern Nigeria so well. Do you know what Jonathan's first act in office was? The wife took the presidential jet to Lebanon with a woman called Bola Shagaya to go and buy gold. That was my first report on him, and he got upset with me. After that, he sent a guy called Imani Boro. That was said, Jonathan is in this thing, he's asked me to come and see you. Just so that you understand, it was a period there was ash in the skies in America. So I told him I'm going to California. When I came back, he still is still in town because the ash would not allow him to fly back. You know, it was a volcanic ash. Yeah. And he said, but Mr. President said I should come and give you something. I said, what? Because I'm taking pains to expose these things to you because sometimes it hurts me. But I understand it, that Nigerians, every time they see the truth, they will go with what is false. And the truth in my case is that you've known me for 10 years. You think the federal government of Nigeria, we know that I have a relationship with Tinubu, they won't be able to produce a telephone conversation with me and him. Or with all the security apparatus in the country, they can't find where I'm meeting with him and collecting money, as they say. No, the reason I'm able to do what I do is that I don't give a damn about any one of them. When the Buhari people came and they started messing up, the first reporting about how they were hiring in the CBN and through the back end was provided by Sahara reporters. The first report on how the chief of army staff was buying houses in Dubai was provided by Sahara reporters. Even the letter, the report about the wife complaining about the cabal inside this thing was provided by. The first reporting on the fact that Buhari was sick and was tendering to his health was provided by Sahara reporters. The first reporting about the 500 million naira they collected from MTN to do the MTN deal. I can keep counting and counting what we have done. You think if you had any relationship with them, they won't be able to say, oh, you used to work for us. This is how we pay you. They will expose us. But guess what? Sahara reporters doesn't even accept adverts from the government, any government agency for that matter. Because our position is clear. If you are a government and you are doing well, your work will advertise itself. Why should you be going to newspaper to go and be writing, to God be the glory, we have just constructed a tunnel here. To God be the glory, we just constructed the road here. It's all nonsense. Or you find journalists who go around collecting money from governors. They say they are doing constituency and they are doing project tours. How can a journalist know a road that has just, even if it's carpet they put on the road and claim that it's been done? Would you know? You are not an engineer. What's your business going around inspecting projects? So that is just to explain to you that it is fallacious that I have any relationship with Bola Tinubu, and anybody who says otherwise, I challenge them, because I'm speaking before the world, to present the evidence to anywhere, anybody and anywhere in the world. Thank you so much. So I don't want you to keep repeating the same thing. I know that I'm not able to defend myself everywhere, but I want it to be on record today that I challenge anyone who has ever seen me. In fact, I think if I fall on top of Tinubu, he will not recognize me. Of course, if he falls on top of me, I will dodge him and he'll crash. There's no question about that, because I know him. And I know that he's part and parcel of the corrupt political establishment in the country. So why would I have anything to to do. They are the people I'm planning to dislodge. The Tinubus of this world. It's not only, what is that is sad, is, we're not talking about them enough. If you know what these guys have done to Lagos State, the land that is meant for the university, Polytechnic in Lagos, where he built his TVC, to the TV station that he owns. He owns part of the Lagos State. But if you don't put a president in place that can challenge people like that, you are wasting your time. Because his corruption is in the open. But he has been able to cover it up using his own political power and also by controlling the media. If you want to know people who are Tinubu's friends, go to the media. He controls the entire, they can't write anything against him. Because to give them land in Lagos, build houses for some of them. Like I told you, the first thing I did at this event is to declare my assets. I have nothing. If I die today, I worry for my children. They have nothing but my mortgage to inherit. Because I know they are not going to the village in Nigeria anytime soon. One thing I noticed about Nigeria is that the politicians know how to hide things from them. They know that we don't read too much. It's not even a Nigerian thing. There's a general attention deficit disorder in the world. People don't, there's too much thrown at you. So if I really want to bog you down, so go and produce long manifestos that I know you'll never read. Because you don't have the time. But we're going to break it down in very simple ways, and you see it on the website as soon as it's launched. If my VP is corrupt, what am I going to do? I'm going to be the chief whistleblower of Nigeria. I will not whistle on anybody that's corrupt. I don't hide it. They know that that's what I do now, and I'll be doing it. So I will be the first to call reporters and say, look, we just found out the VP stole. And I expect if I steal, the VP will also do the same thing against me as president. And that is where you can get proper identification of people who are serious about governance in Nigeria. That nobody should be afraid to expose anybody in the country. Our technology, I thank you, brother, for saying that we can compete with it. I know there's nobody who's in that Nigerians can compete anywhere in the world. We're the one who had a doctor who can take a baby out of the belly, fix the baby and put it, the last time they did that was in the Bible. Yes, and Nigerian is doing it now. That's what they call miracle. But how do we bring this technology home? We have to create the enabling environment for it. As I say everywhere, oil is lazy economy. It's not even part of my agenda to use oil revenues to develop Nigeria. I want to tap into the potential that Nigerians have, their innovative and creative abilities. And technology is where that will happen. The companies that are selling the highest IPOs are not oil companies. I don't even think oil companies come close to the first 10 companies that are doing well now in the world. It's Facebook and Apple that are doing it. And guess what? There's no device that is made that I can't find in Nigeria. When people want to make you feel bad, they will ask you to buy a phone. And when you ask them to describe the phone, you know that you've never seen it before, except you go on Google. Because Nigerians love, technology, and they just can't wait to participate in also creating technological devices or participate in the world of technology. But we'll create the opportunity for it. So we've been standing for how long? Very good. You see, it's why you need a president who will not collapse after 10 years. Leaving Donald Trump. Donald Trump is also running America the way Buhari is running Nigeria. In a different way mentally. So the siege is crazy. So absolutely, I agree that we have to do something drastic about electricity, and I know the importance of it. I just can't imagine that there are people who see, So one of the things that you get is that when you come here, you have a cultural shock. After a while, 2 years, who was here? Who is here in the room who's only spent a year in America? In North America, Canada, 1 year. Who is here who spent 1 year? Okay. 2 months. Yes. So you are still in the cultural shock age. I'm sure if I call your cell phone now, you have a full shebang of introduction. Hey, I'm Olajumeji Lawal. Please call me back. Sometimes you even put your address there. But after 5 years, you just said, please leave a message. That's where you know That's when you know. Who's been here for 2 years? 2 years. Yes, fantastic. So you get the culture shock when you're just arriving, but you go to Nigeria after 2 years and you get even worse culture shock. Sometimes you can't even believe that this is the place I left 2 years ago, because each time you go back, things are worse than you left them. You know, if you left an airport that had a conveyor belt 2 years ago, when you get there now, the conveyor belt has broken down. So you see human beings pushing luggage out of the hole. You know, another person will collect it for you, you know, and you're just like, my God, what happened to this place? Because Nigeria has been ruled by the enemy of Nigerians. That's a simple truth. They take care of themselves so, like crazy. These guys, they will travel anywhere in the world. They are helping to develop every other city in the world. You go to Dubai, Nigerians are the ones who, after Dubai started operating, they are the ones keeping the UAE economy going. You go to London, you go to South Africa, you know, you come here, like I mentioned earlier, a lot of properties in the Toronto, in the GTA are owned by Nigerian politicians, you know, the greater Toronto area. But they will never do the same thing for their country. Never. They will never see a train and swear that they will go and replicate it in their country. There used to be a governor of Edo State who loved Toronto very well, Lucky Gwinedo, you know. But he could not even take a model of a school, primary school, from Canada and take it to Nigeria. So, except we change these people, and we change the narrative, and we consciously support ourselves to fix that country, we would continue to be in worse conditions than we are now. And the sad part is that this looks like one of the last opportunities we have. I'm sorry to say. After 2019, if things continue the way they are now, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm not a prophet, but I just can't help but prophesy that it will be terrible. It will be end of discussion. That's the name of the car.
Thank you so much, man. I think it deserves a lot of accolades.
Nigerian economy is PowerPoint based. Each time they feel like people don't understand the economy, they go and say that they have rebased the economy, which is a product of PowerPoint presentation. It's nonsense. The economy doesn't have electricity. You are telling me that your economy is bigger than that of South Africa. If you go to South Africa today, you can get on a train from the airport to your hotel within 30 minutes, and it's cleaner than the train in Toronto. But Nigeria doesn't have it. The last time we had any train that connects two cities, the one between Abuja and Kaduna, the other day somebody shot at it in motion. That's the kind of train. It's not even fast. It's still the locomotive, you know, kind of train. But that's what they are proud of. When even the worst cities in America and Canada can have tram, which takes people from place to place. Because you can imagine if all of you can come and partake in a government, all of you young people that have great ideas, you know, it would just be amazing. You know, that is what some people cannot forgive Buhari for. That you become president of Nigeria, you are so old, you can't even think of young Nigerians who made it possible. The ambassador of Nigeria to the US is 82 years old. The one to the UK is 79 years old. I mean, I don't hate old people, but I don't want an ambassador to my country not to be able to get in the elevator by himself. You know, they should have just let these people rest. That's why the retirement age is 65. You know? So, and it's part of what I have as a problem with people fronting for restructuring too. They are saying that Buhari is too old, but at the age of 80, they too want to be the one restructuring Nigeria for us. They're not on the table. So, yes, Abbas Akonji gave me a homework assignment. What is the definition of leadership? will give you the answer. You just give me your email, because I have to consult Google. You can't just expect leaders to know everything. Nigeria don't pay pension to people who have worked for 35 years. So many of them have died. In the Nigeria Airways alone, they've released the money, but you know these wicked people who have put the money in the bank account generating interest. The guy who ran the Nigeria Airways last is from my area of Ondo State, Olusegun Agabu. He was the governor of Ondo State. He was the guy whose dead body crashed in a plane. Sometimes you want to believe that it's karma. Yes. I met with disabled people. Sorry, I don't want to use the word disabled people. Nobody is disabled. It's physically challenged people in Lagos. And I made a promise to them and I fulfill it. That every physically challenged person in Nigeria should be able to take home 50,000 naira per quarter, to take care of some of their needs. And we'll be working towards ensuring that we have to collect their identities first. We have to verify who is actually physically challenged. Nigeria, people can quickly.
They can become physically challenged.
That comes to a lot of countries. So we want to do like a proper vetting of before you know it, the half of the country will be physically challenged. So, social services, we have to have holistic response to taking care of the weak and infirm in our society. That's why social services are important. A lot of Nigerians who have walked around here for 20 years, they are already receiving benefits. I have been laid off before and I was collecting unemployment for a while. That helps prepare me for my next job. I graduated from the University of Lagos in 1995, finally, and I went to youth corps service in 95 and finished in 96. The only time I ever used my certificate was someone gave me a check for 5,000 naira. So when I wanted to clear it, they asked me for a form of ID I didn't have. So the bank asked me to go and bring my certificate to show that I graduated from. So I went and got and brought it. That was the only time. Nobody employed me. There was no job in Nigeria. There are some people that I graduated with that time that still haven't had a job till today. Yes, they contact you all the time. If you are lucky to have a Facebook page now, all your friends, some of them that you thought had died, they come back to you and say how things with you, and you know that the conversation can go quickly in the direction of support. So, to be honest, you are the social security of Nigeria right now, people in diaspora. You are the one supporting your parents, paying school fees for kids that are good. You are the social security department of Nigeria, whether you like it or not. Because you must be challenged. There's a way when people want money from you at home, you start with prayers, and it ends up with prayers too. So let's continue to support ourselves, but this is one last support we must give ourselves, which is to ensure the country is liberated, so that you guys can actually go on vacation. Yes. Because for as long as Nigerians are not happy, it doesn't matter where you are as a Nigerian, it will rub off from you. Mm-hmm. It's the reason I didn't even bother to change my citizenship. For 19 years after, I don't know where they will change it, and I'm not condemning those of you who have changed. But something keeps telling me that if I don't keep using Nigeria to punish myself, I will one day maybe just drift away from thinking about it. And it's very, very easy to get drowned and just tune off from Nigeria. Because, where do we wake up in the world? Probably we are the only country. I don't even think Palestinians go through that. We're probably the only country where you wake up and like, my goodness, why did I come from this place? But that development is about to change. Yeah. Let's always say amen. Yeah. So I'm sorry for the pastors that are taking your style of getting people to be excited. Thank you so much. I want to thank the organizers again. I want to thank our viewers online. We noticed that you stayed with us. And I want to thank the club for not deceiving me that I can actually stand in front of you for close to 4 hours. Yes. I'm still standing. Thank you, Chidi.
Thank you very much.
I must say this about Chidi. You know, I have collaboration with people from time to time to solve difficult problems. And we had to deal with a wicked problem when a pastor was involved in a dalliance with one of you here. We will have that conversation during another symposium discussion in the future.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Put your hands together for him. Put your hands. Can we just stand on our feet and appreciate him? That is so wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Sowore. To say that to inspire me, it would be an understatement. We've heard a lot of people say this is the future of Nigeria. Yes. I'm not talking about him personally, but what he represents.